Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How are you today? I am so happy to see you all. Let's see, make sure that our volume is turned down and that we are ready to go. Good morning, Carol. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, it's so funny. Facebook keeps having these, oh, I don't know why it just went away. Whatever. I don't know. So I can barely see your comments because I'm having to look on my phone because it's not showing up on my iPad. So, whatever. Okay, let's just start. So, I wanted to continue, let's see. I wanted to continue with playing with the Polychromos, and I'll just kind of show you what I have discovered. So it's so weird that I can't read your it's so weird that I can't read your messages. Okay. I'm just going to act like I'm just talking to myself or like I'm talking to you all and you're there and, you know. Okay. There you are. There you are. Okay. Okay, so if you are thinking about using Polychromos, or if you have them and you know about them, let me know your thoughts. I'm curious what, what everybody knows about them, what they like, what they don't like. I don't know, anything like that. But before we start, let's make sure that we all have some water. So we found this water last night at Sprouts called Path Water, and it's in a refillable, whoops, I keep getting that in the way, in a refillable bottle. And so, but this is purified water and pH balanced and electrolytes. So we'll see. But that's what I'm drinking this morning. What is everybody else drinking? Something delicious. Good morning, Linda. So if you are brand new here, if you would follow and like and Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I would greatly appreciate that. And then if you would, once you follow me on all of those platforms, if you would ask to join our private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Ann Corbiere-Scott, that would be fab. So let's start playing with Polychromos. And for those of you in the car, please drive safely. And Keels, I'm so jelly that you're getting to go see your kid. So here's what I've done since Tuesday. So I remember these are the only colors that I have of the Polychromos, right? Good morning, Laura. Hi, Nancy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So if you are here, let me know so we can all say hello. Take a moment to say hello. So what I did was these were still feeling quite flat. Like the colors were just feeling like it needed some kind of punch. And so I took the hot pink and I came in and deepened all of the, good morning, Janet, I deepened all of the base of the petals with this, what is the name of this color? I don't know. Oh, fuchsia. So on top of the peachy salmony color, I put some of this fuchsia. I did it on here and here, you can really tell. On here, I'm still kind of working my way around. And I feel like that like really popped everything, right? It kind of did what I needed it to do. I needed it to feel a little bit more dimensional, a little bit more it just needed a pop. I don't know how else to say that. This morning my vocabulary is limited. I don't know why. Just is. Some days are like that, aren't they? Anyway, I just felt like that really helped things kind of come together. And because the base of each petal is a deeper color, I kept the ends of the petal light. And so I first went through, I did a light shade of, what is this? Light phthalo green all over the background. And then I came in with the permanent green olive, and I did right up next to those flowers. And now I'm going to do that technique where I come back in with the lighter color and blend that out, so that everything kind of, and you know, most of this is going to get cut off with when I die cut the edges, but I want the color to just continue to graduate. So I'm just doing that swirly, circly blend where I'm barely touching the paper. And we're getting a really nice blend out because, do you see the end of my pencil is getting smoothed down? And remember we talked about that a rounded tip on your pencil is blending bliss. You're going to have really nice blend because it's not going to draw like a sharp line. It's just going to just kind of coat the top layer with color when we barely touch our paper. And I think that's quite effective. Okay, so let me tell you about my anniversary. So we went to dinner at a very fancy pants steakhouse in Old Town Scottsdale called STK. Has anybody ever eaten at a place called STK? Anyway, the food was so rich, and you know, the more when we were eat out, because we don't eat out very often, we realize how completely plain we eat at home. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink because I'm blabbing a lot. So this bottle is metal. That's kind of interesting, and the water tastes good. So I'm going to continue. Oh, I need to continue down here with the olivey green. And I'm going right up into those little crevices from the ends of the petals. Because, you know, a marigold has a really textury end of the petals. So I'm just little by little building up that edge. I love that. Okay, so we went to dinner, And they asked us if we were celebrating something, and we said yes, our 30th wedding anniversary. And that was nice. And they brought out they asked us if we wanted a cocktail. And can I just tell you, I'm just going to admit it right up front. I am the world's biggest lightweight when it comes to cocktails. I don't really like it to taste like alcohol. I know, like, why even bother? But every now and again, I want to feel like an adult, you know? So, what I wanted, they didn't have I said, do you have a full bar? They said, yes. I said, then I want a Malibu Bay Breeze. And if you know me, you know that's my go-to. Coconut rum with pineapple juice and cranberry juice. I mean, how can you go wrong with that, right? They go, oh, we don't have coconut rum. So I was like, all right. So I said, okay, how about a salty dog? Grapefruit juice and vodka and a salted rim. So they brought that out, and I thought I said light on the alcohol, but I don't know if she just didn't hear me, but it was so strong. It was so strong. So I drank some of it, and then I added some water to it, and then it just tasted like watery vodka, and I was like, ugh, I hated it. I hated it. Anyway, then she said, well, let me make you a special drink. And so she made me a lemon drop, which again was good, except that it was super alcohol-y. Anyhow, that's my tale. That's my drink tale. And then, so our dinner came, so we got bread, and it was in like one of those little cast iron skillet things, and it looked like a cinnamon roll. How crazy is that? And it was blue cheese and butter on the top and chive oil on the bottom. It was so rich. And then everything was delicious, but so rich. So anyway, and then after our dinner, we went, and you know, they were lovely people. They brought us champagne and dessert, and it was lovely. I had the best sugar snap peas. Oh my gosh, they were so good. With my steak, I had a filet, which was seriously, I think the best piece of meat I've ever eaten. It was so fabulous. And then we walked over to the building, and now I don't remember the name of that building, but we went there and saw the Van Gogh experience, and it was, oh my gosh. And interestingly, it was so fabulous, but interestingly, it was not the same one that I had seen in Paris. It was different paintings, it was different music, it was, I don't know. And in Paris, we saw two artists, and here we saw one. I felt like the one that we saw in Paris was longer. This one was, I don't know, not quite an hour. Anywho, it was, but seriously, if you love Van Gogh, then it's the place to be. Okay, so this one, I'm going to try and do this whole, like all of the flowers with just this one dark chrome yellow Polychromo, because it's a more traditional marigold color. So I just did my one light layer of color. And now I'm coming in with a little bit darker layer of color. It's so pretty. You know, the whole time I was watching the exhibit, I just kept thinking about how you know, people think that sometimes people think that some art is easy, you know. Oh, it would be easy to do that. That's just, they just slapped color on here or there or whatever. But when you really examine art, that's when you start to see the precision of the placement of brushstrokes and the precision of the placement of color and how that, oh my gosh, how that is the most effective and tremendous use of color. There was a painting of this little boy's face, and it was on the screen, which is the wall, for kind of a long time. So you really got to examine it. And the more I examined it, the more I realized that one of his eyes was like 3 paint strokes. And in those 3 paint strokes, you got the expression of his eye, you got the emotion in his eye. It was just tremendous. I can't express to you how fabulous it was. So if you get a chance to go to an art museum, go and really examine those great works, you know, by those fabulous painters of the past. And I'm telling you, you will be inspired. You will be inspired not to paint like exactly what they did, but the more that you just absorb that greatness, I believe, the more you will come home and say, oh, I'm ready to tackle that Polychromo, or I'm ready to tackle that, whatever the new medium is that you're thinking about, or a new technique that you're kind of thinking about. It was amazing. This is really working out well, I think. I'm getting some nice gradation of color. I'm feeling like that's quite effective. Just this one pencil and the whole, this is just kind of an experiment in pressure, right? So when I'm doing this first layer of color, I'm just letting my pencil just kind of glide over the top of my paper and just getting that base of color down. And there's still some white showing. There's still, because I'm just loosely coloring it, but I'm already daydreaming about what color I'm going to use for my background, what technique I want to use, how I'm going to build this color. I love a slow process because it does give me that time to ponder. Oh my gosh, Nancy, you absolutely need to go. Keely went. He's just such for me, I think that he's such because he was such a tragic figure in so many ways. You can feel his emotion in his paintings. And I got to see those cypress trees again. When we were going to Paris, we just went for not even 24 hours. We just went for the day, which was kind of dumb, but I really wanted to see that Van Gogh exhibit. So we were in England and we took the train to Paris. And you know, it goes under the water, through the Channel and through the British Canal, and then the English Canal, I should say. And then you come out of the water and you're in France. And that's just, seriously, what a mind-blowing experience. So I'm looking at the French countryside and just falling in love. And all of a sudden I look up and I see a line of cypress trees. And I think, oh my gosh, I'm seeing the same trees that Van Gogh saw. I'm seeing what he saw. Like maybe these are the same, oh my gosh. It just brought me to tears. I know that probably sounds a little bit cuckoo, but it was so moving to me. And it just felt good to get out and do something. Do you know what I mean? Be among the living again. To, you know, we're fully vaccinated and ready to get that booster. That's for sure. Because I just want to, I've said it before, as much of a homebody as I am, and I'm a complete homebody. Gosh, it felt so nice to go out and see things with new eyes and, you know, just be out and about with people again. This is really, I'm really loving this. Just the challenge of just one color for this right now, because I will add more colors. I did this painting in art school of this little African boy. And I remember my art teacher at the time talked to me about you should be able to see in close inspection almost every color in the rainbow in your paintings. And you know, I have kind of always remembered that, and that's why I just really like to build color and form, build form with color in kind of whatever medium I'm working in. And colored pencils are an easy one to build color with, to build form with color, with many colors, by just stacking those colors. And it doesn't have to be like a whole purple petal or anything. You just want to reflect what's going on in life. If you look at a flower out in the world, in your garden, in your yard, whatever, you're going to see, if you examine it closely, you'll see little tiny bits of color other than the color that the petals are. You'll see purples and pinks in a red rose's petals. You'll see kind of a burgundy. You'll see maybe even a little bit of yellow. It's kind of amazing. And when you do that, when you're coloring something, when you're adding color to something, you will see such a fullness in whatever you are adding color to. This color is so pretty. It's very buttery. So my consensus is that yes, I will invest in a few more Polychromos. I do like them. They are, I don't know that I like them better than my Prismas. You know, I've had my Prismas forever, and I know them so well. I really love them. Oh, I just thought of something I wanted to talk to you about, and now I can't remember. Oh, don't forget to mark your calendars. November 12th is my Ornamentally Yours class, where I'm going to be doing the Mix and a Mingle banner, ornament, and card builder. That will be so fun. And wait till you see some of the other artists. Oh my gosh. It's just going to be, set aside time that whole weekend. All of the classes are about an hour long, and they will be saved. The videos will be saved, so you don't have to watch them live, which I love. I love that that you have that option. But there's so many classes I want to take. I will be on I think 1 to 2, because the first one, the first one is 10 to 11, then there's an hour break, then 12 to 1 Arizona time, or Pacific time, I believe. I will get that information for you, the exact times and stuff. But that whole weekend, oh my gosh, it's just the best. It's just a nice celebration of makers, which, how can you not want to celebrate that? It's what ties us all together. So I'm beginning to ponder as I'm deepening these petals. I'm starting to ponder what my next step will be. So I'm really just trying to deepen where the stippling is right now, right? Little by little by little. But I'm really starting to think about adding some of that salmon, some of that hot pink, even some of that blue maybe. I'm thinking I might want to do like this blue for a background. Number one, opposites on the color wheel, right? That'll be so pretty because this is kind of a orangey yellow. Then we can go because opposite on the color wheel for orange is blue. And I think that might really help my flowers just pop. And I'm really enjoying just building these colors, that's for sure. All these little petals. So we watched the last episode of Only Murders in the Building last night. Oh, it was so good. And it absolutely looks like there'll be another season, which Don't you just love that? Don't you just love that? Our Sophie girl is, she is, oh my gosh, you got to watch it, Tam. So and then you got to call me so we can talk about it. So good. It's so good. I won't say a word. I will just say that it was so good. I mean, how can you go wrong with Martin Short and Steve Martin, you know? And Selena Gomez was just fabulous in it. Just fabulous. This is... what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Oh, I'm still having lots of fun doing the Grateful Project with my niece, where we text each other 3 things that we're grateful for each evening. So wait until you hear what I am grateful for, what was on my list yesterday. So remember at the beginning, in the summertime, I was growing flowers like nobody's business, right? I was growing all kinds of zinnias and, well, you name it. I tried to grow it. Okay. Gerber daisies, all kinds of things. Well, so you know, a lot of them have died off, and so we pulled the, you know, the dead plants out. But the sprinklers hit those pots that just have dirt in them now. And I'm telling you, little tiny buds are popping up. So I don't know if there were seeds that, I don't know, but they're beautiful. I can't wait to see what grows. Everybody take a drink. I'm just so anxious to see what grows in there. I will say that now that I've grown zinnias a couple of times, I will certainly stake them because a lot of them just got top heavy. The flowers, because they got so tall and they got, the flower heads were so heavy that they started to kind of sag. So I will absolutely stake them this time. Okay, so let's come in with this salmon and just little by little start to work on blending out that base color, that real buttery salmon, that buttery yellow. And you'll notice that I'm just starting to kind of pull color out on the sides, and that's going to build up my petal shape. And then every now, so like here, we have some lines, right? So let's just enhance those with our salmon. And here, I just kind of followed the curve of the petal, and that's automatically going to give me some really nice form. Just back, forth, but no pressure on with your pencil. No pressure at all. Just little by little, building up that dimension. So our Sophie girl is, she's doing slightly better, but then she goes back down, and so we have Jeff's making an appointment for us to take her in to see internal medicine, because we have no idea what's wrong with her. You know, that's just ugh. It's so hard when they can't tell you what's what. It stinks, Tam. So I'm just kind of trying to create little bits of dimension in these petals with my second color, the addition of this second color. Just gonna follow back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. And by doing it where your pencil is barely touching your paper, it's going to be so subtle that it will really start to give you the illusion that those petals are really dimensional. The more that I do it, the more I start to see. Hi, Doris. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to see you here. We are we are coloring on my Alejandra art printable, and we are using, well, I am using Polychromos. And so what I am trying to do is, I just bought a few so that I could play with them and see, kind of put them through their paces, and then see if I want to purchase more, if I want to grow that collection. And what I've said in the past, and I believe it so firmly, is you can't try something one time, a new medium, right? So like these Polychromos, you can't try them just one time and make a determination if it works for you or not. You really want to try it and try it and try it in many different ways, on different substrates, on different with different techniques, because by doing that, you'll know it inside and out. And that's we've talked about this before. Get to know whatever tools you have, and how you get to know them is using them over and over and over again. It makes all the difference in the world. So I'm just doing that circle blend. I printed on watercolor paper, and that's giving me like an immediate texture. Which, how can you can't go wrong with texture, that's for sure. I'm feeling like maybe I'll want to come back in with that same yellow and go over again, like we have, in a million different instances. To smooth out Look at that. Look at the difference between here and here. It's huge. So much more dimensional, right? And all with just the addition of a color. I love the power of color. I just love the power of color. Everybody take a drink. Ugh, that was a big swallow. Sorry about that. So let's do some more down here. This petal has this really nice little curve. Let's come up with that. There we go. It's so pretty. So I was looking on, remember I was talking to you about Design Bloom, that Instagram, the other day, and it is, oh my gosh, there's so many cool things. So this morning I saw these, so in between two buildings, they had these brick, what do I want to say? Like brick, just kind of dividers, I guess. But they were so lovely. I mean, it was just between two buildings, and it was something that you might not have noticed, except for it was so well thought out and it was so well designed that you just stopped and checked it out. So go look for that today. Tell me your thoughts. Like the bricks were arranged in such a way that each chunk of divider had a different geometric design within it. Oh my gosh, so cool. So cool. Inspiration is everywhere. And even if you don't think that, you can just look at it because it's cool. But you never know, but then it is part of you, right? It's part of your noggin, right? Because you kind of saw it and you stopped and examined it a little bit. And once you do that, I'm telling you, it will influence your thinking of, I don't know, your next card design or your next, the way you color something, the way you add color to something, the way you think of a color combination. I'm telling you, I love it. So how about you? Can somebody tell me something they're grateful for, that they, what's the best thing that happened to you yesterday? Mine was seeing those little buds, those little flower buds. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I'm so anxious to see what becomes of it all, Laura, have you tried your goat yoga yet? I'm so anxious to hear about it. Absolutely. I'm excited you have a condo in Arizona too. That's for sure, my friend. That is for sure. Well, we really miss you. Next month is, okay, that's when the goat yoga is. Well, I'm so anxious to hear about that. And isn't it crazy that next month is November? Jeff and I were just talking about, 2020 was such a blur, but so was 2021. It went so quickly. Oh, a 15-month-old. How awesome was that? There's nothing like a a toddler, is there? They're just so fun and full of life, and when you are around them, they just, you know, you can't help but be in their wake of happiness, for lack of a better word. So I'm digging that. I really feel like I want to come back in with... So you notice that I'm not sharpening my pencil because I want it to be really nice and... Oh, I love a snuggle baby. Don't you? That's so funny. I was just talking to my sister, and she has a granddaughter and a grandson, and the grandson is very snuggly, and the granddaughter just tolerates you holding her, because then she's already scheming what her next move is. She's got big plans, that girl. She's got big plans. It is the best to observe, isn't it? And it makes you like observe things like that are just part of your normal life. It makes you look at things in a new way too. I love that. Her name is Charlie Mae, and she is, I'm telling you right this minute, she is just a delight. And her brother Noah is just a delight too. Nothing like it. This is, oh, it's just coming together. I'm really liking it. And again, my pencil is just barely touching my paper. I'm just loving the layers of color, layers and layers and layers. Isn't that the truth, Nancy? Isn't that the truth when you're sitting on the floor? That's so funny. When we went to that Van Gogh, so they had those, you know, the fluorescent circles on the ground for social distancing. And, but then they also had some benches. And I said, Jeff, do you want to sit on the floor? Because if you sat on the floor, you could rest your back on the wall, right? But if you sat on a bench, then you wouldn't have to try and get up in front of everybody. And he was like, I think I would rather sit on the bench, because it was interesting observation. He said, the people that are against the wall, people are in front of them. So you're not getting as clear a view of it all as if you were on the bench. But yes, you do see things totally different. This is really starting to come to life. And I think when you take your time like this and just slowly build that color, you really start to hone in and on each petal, right? And you start to see each petal just kind of come to life. I just love that. Oh, yes. Giving your phone to a toddler. It's interesting, isn't it? To see what, number one, isn't it crazy how much they kind of already know technology just by observation of their parents or siblings or whoever, and what they see. It is amazing. I sent in my samples and my class description for my first in-person classes at Scraps of Love yesterday. So my first in-person classes since March of 2020 will be November 27th. Saturday, November 27th. It's kind of crazy. Oh, I would be, doggies are the best, aren't they, Carol? They are the best. And so I FaceTime with my great niece and nephew. They live in Missouri. And my niece is 5, will be 6 in December. And I'm telling you, so we FaceTime and she carries the phone. I get a tour of every place she wants to go in that house. Her bed, on top of the bed, under the bed, on top of the trampoline. Last time she was like, okay, I'm going to do a flip, but I won't drop the phone. Oh boy, that was like riding a roller coaster. But it was super fun. Just to see how their little minds work and where how one thought leads to another, and oh, I just love it. I just love it. So it is funny, but super fun, that's for sure. So now I'm really deepening the base with my yellow. Really working on, I'm giving it a little pressure now. But my end is a little bit flattened, so I think I need to sharpen. How am I doing on time? Anybody know what time it is? Okay. I'm really liking that. That deep color right at the base. And it's really nice blended with that salmon. It's really creating Nice form. Oh, we also started to watch Succession, the next season of Succession last night. That is, I'm telling you, what a crazy family. It's crazy. I said to Jeff, I go, seriously, who do you trust? Everybody is suspicious of everyone, and for good reason. It was crazy, but super entertaining. There we go. Really starting to come together, I think. It feels like it felt crazy to make samples that will leave my house for those classes. I need to take them into the store, and 2 of my pals are working tomorrow, so I'll take them in tomorrow. It just felt so crazy, you know, just so different, because it's been so long since I've taught there. And who knew that that class would be my last for a long, long time. I'm sure lots of people have lots of similar experiences, you know, the last time you did this or that or whatever. A pandemic is no joke, that's for sure. So I'm thinking about, should I watercolor this background or should I color pencil it? I don't know. I don't know just yet. Not sure. But I will say, like, I just love that, the effect of going over, doing a color and then going over it with another, a different color, and then going back to the original color. I love that. The effect of that. Like, it just looks like you get a really nice gradation. Ay, ay, ay. An hour is up. How did that happen? I don't know. It goes so fast, doesn't it? I hope that everybody is having an amazing Thursday. Can you believe it's Thursday already? Crazy. And I hope that you will play with a new, you know, experiment with a new medium or something that you have that you just haven't played with in a while. Pull it out and play with it. See what you can do with it. See what you can, how you can grow it, you know? Challenge yourself to try a new medium. Today, you know, just like Today I'm going to try those watercolor pencils. I'm going to try those, that new set of watercolors that I have sitting in the drawer, or art crayons, or whatever the thing is that's in your drawer. And that you're going to challenge yourself to use it a bunch of times. And you'll learn new things about it. And, how it blends well with this thing, or how it blends well with that thing, with that product, whatever that other medium is. Because I really want to play with these with watercolors, because I use watercolors so much. I would love to play with them with watercolors and see where that takes me. Someplace delightful, I bet. Because I'm liking these, and I love watercolors and colored pencils. So I can't imagine that it won't be fabulous. So I will bid you adieu and wish you a tremendous Thursday, and challenge you to play with something that's in your drawer that you haven't played with in a while. And really put it through its paces. Color many, many things with it. Different substrates, different, in combination with some other things. All the things. I adore you all. I'm so grateful. I'm so, so grateful for your taking time to just hang with me and chat and make something. And I will see you on Saturday. Is Let's Get Artsy with our Bibles. And we are doing something super fun in there. And then Sunday is Inspire Your Heart with Art. We're starting our new session. Both of those classes are still open for registration on my website and Corbiere-Scott So check them out. And register and join us. We always have an artsy time. I adore you all. Thank you. Bye.